Well, hello again everyone, Paul here in the RoJoBe Music Workshop, and welcome to part 6 of the Mountain Dulcimer build project. So I've been having problems with the last few videos in that they keep timing out before I've had a chance to finish up and say goodbye and everything, so apologies for that. I'll try and keep on top of the time. It seems to time out at 27 minutes and 3 seconds every time, so I'll have to keep an eye on the time. So since the last video where I was gluing the top to the instrument, you haven't really missed much. So you saw me clamping up each end and then starting to put some weight on top. So I turned it upside down in my workbench so that the fretboard went through the gap in the workbench, clamp at each end, and I was starting to put some weight on top of the back of the instrument to press it all down. So there it is. Okay, it's all in one piece at last. And what I've done this morning, actually what I have done this morning, I've just not long arrived back from the hospital. Nothing serious, I've had my COVID jab. Woo! So I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get a jab, being a foreigner and all that, and not having any money to pay for, pay for a jab, but I managed to get on a scheme which is run by the Thai government, especially for expats, to get the vaccine for free. And I've got the Pfizer one as well, the good one. So that is fantastic. So I've had my first jab this morning. Yeah, it's still on there, the little pad. And I've got the second one in about 3 weeks. So that is fantastic. Really, really good news. Not just for me, but for potential customers and more importantly, or moreover, students, because I know that many of the parents are concerned about this. So this is a really, really good step forward, and timing couldn't be much better because, as I said, we've just opened up again, so hopefully we'll start to get the people in, but so far not so much. So okay, so like I said, I've glued the top on now, and when I got back from the hospital this morning, I did all the routing around the top. It's still a little bit rough. I think the router bit that I'm using for this, I think it's gone a bit blunt, so I'm not going to be using that one again. But I managed to get this one done before it, completely cracked out. And because of the neck and the angle of the body here, obviously I was going around with the router on top of the body here, but I could only go to here before the plate on the bottom, you ran out of space. So I was able to do from here all the way down to about here on both sides. And then I did the rest by hand with rasps and files and sandpaper. So, these bits were particularly challenging up in the top and bottom corners, if you like. But I've got it all done. As I said, it still needs final sanding, as I keep saying. And I've put the bevel on the end here because the strings will come down here over the end and attach probably down here. Normally they're attached on the end here, but I want extra peace of mind to go straight through the tail block there where there's lots of strength, and also it's not going to be pulling up on here, it's going to be pulling from here, so that should keep everything together nicely. So it's all in one piece. The next job I'm going to do now is the fret job. So I've had a look down, now that it's all set up, I've had a look down the fretboard, and I can see there are, down this side, I've got a high fret just, is it that one or that one? High frets there. The other side seems okay. Yeah, so I've got a couple of high frets It's not too bad actually, and then we still, you're not going to be able to see it, but I've still got a little bit of a twist going on here, but I should be able to take that out with the fret filing. So I'm going to do the fret job now, and then after that, the next job is to make the tuning pegs. I've put it off long enough, I've got to get on with it, but I may or may not do them today, I don't know yet, because once I finish this job, the fret leveling job, as I said, the next job is to make the tuning pegs. And I can't do any of the other jobs until I've done those, because after that I need to temporarily string this up, get the nut made and get the saddle made, positioned and you know, all in the right place and everything. And I can't do any of that until I've made the tuning pegs. So that 100% absolutely is the next job. But I'm not going to be doing it just yet, because my wife is going to be teaching online shortly. She's out there in the shop front. She's going to be teaching online. So I need to make those tuning pegs, turning them on the lathe, and that's going to be too noisy while she's teaching. So I'll be doing that possibly later today, I don't know yet, but that will be at least part of it in another video. Right, so let's crack on with the fret job. Okay, let me just turn you around a bit there, bring you forward. Okay, let's see, how's that look? That's not too bad. Actually, let me just raise the tripod up a bit. Hopefully you should be able to get a better view of what I'm doing like that. Let's see. How does that work? It's not too bad. Yeah, I think we can go with that. Okay, so first of all I'm just going to clamp the instrument in my workbench. Hold it nice and steady while I do this fret job. Don't want to clamp it too hard. Don't want to break it now I've got to this stage. Okay, I think that should be good. Right, so the tools I'm going to need for this job are as follows. So this is my fret leveling file, which I made from just an ordinary metal file with the tang cut off, araldited to a block of wood, and I've beveled each end so that it doesn't catch. So I need that. Then I need this file, which is mounted at 45 degrees in a block of wood, and that's for doing the edges of the frets, to give them a 45 degree bevel so you don't have the sharp edges. Then I've got my mini leveling beam, which I'll use after the file, kind of finishing touches. So we've got 4 different grades, grits of paper on there: 400, 600, 1000 and 1200. I may or may not use all of those. Brushes to clean up my mess, and one more thing, the most important one. So this is the fret crowning tool. So once I've finished doing all the filing, obviously the tops of the files will be flat, and I'll use this tool, which has grooved files in it, to re-crown the top of the frets to give them that curve again. And also I will go over the ends of the frets, both sides, with this as well to take off all the sharp edges. Right, so 10 minutes in already, so I've got to crack on so that the video doesn't time out before I finish. So the first job is to go across the top of all the frets to level them. But just before I do that, I will quickly see if I can find any low frets.
looks as though that one's low, so I'm going to go across the top of the low frets with a Sharpie. So another one there. In fact, I'm going to do all of them, just to make my life a little bit easier. So the reason for this is that when I'm filing, obviously this Sharpie mark will come off of the top of the frets once they're filed down, and any low frets, the mark will still be on there. So I'll be able to see much easier where the low frets still are. So hopefully this job shouldn't take too long. Okay, so I've marked all the top of the frets now. So I'm going to start this end and just do one section at a time. So I'll do here and then move up to the middle and then to the top. Okay, here we go. Okay, so just from starting that, let me just move you in a bit closer. I don't know how well you can see that, but you can probably see some silver already and then some that are still black. So you can see where the low spots are. Or I can. Oh dear. Right. Come on, stand up straight. Okay. So I'll do this bottom section first. Okay, so it seems we've got some low spots down here at the bottom end. Let me just have a look at the middle section as well. Okay, a couple of low spots here right in the middle. It's not too bad. Right, top end. There's a low one there, the third fret. So definitely the worst part is right the way down the bottom here, so I'm going to work a little bit more on this area. It's not too bad really. Okay, got a low spot on this one and this one over this side. Pretty good. That's not far off actually. Nearly there. I've got a loose fret in the middle, so I might need to put some glue in that one. I think that's probably enough. That's looking good. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to take any more off of there because you don't want them to go too flat. So now for the 45 degree, which I will go down both, so that this part sits on top of the fretboard, and then that you can see will take off the edges at a 45 degree angle. Again, they're not too bad. end again. That's not too bad. And the other side. Come around this way, it'll be a bit easier. Okay, that's not too bad now. Get in there. A bit in the middle there. Okay, I'm going to leave that for the moment. I may need to come back to that and do a little bit more. Why didn't I put the light on? That's a bit better, isn't it? Okay, so now I'm going to use my leveling beam just to smooth them off a bit more. So I'll start with the 400. Actually, I'm just going to very quickly put the sharpening mark back on, just to check again if there's any more low spots. We should be good. How's the time? Coming up 20 minutes. Alright. I've got about 9 minutes left before the video times out. Okay. Alright, so 400. It's looking good. Okay, 600. And lastly, 1200. Okay, let's take a look at that. That looks spot on, actually, spot on. So, crowning tool. Just going to move a bit closer so I'm not pulling my wire all over the place. So the trick with this is to go over the top of the file frets, and as you're filing, you kind of rock from side to side as well, just to get that curve on the top. And I'll also do the same with the ends of the frets, so I'll go over the top and then angle this way, and again rock it around. So right, so I want number 2, I think. Yes, there we go. Maybe number 1. That's better. And obviously the smaller frets. Time. Oh, come on. Okay, so that's the tops of the frets done. I'll now need to do the edges in much the same way. Time. Oh my god, I've got 5 minutes. Okay, so I think you get the idea of what I'm doing here. I'm going to finish that off camera because I've got at least another 10 or 15 minutes on that. And because I can't make the tuning pegs at the moment, as I said, because my wife is going to be teaching online, I'll probably get on with the sanding on this. You don't really want to watch me do that. Hours and hours of sanding. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm not wasting any time, and I think, yeah, as I said, the next stage is to make the tuning pegs. Now, how much of that I will actually film, I don't know. I probably will film me doing one of them to show you how I'm doing it. I'm going to be turning them on the lathe because it's just, once I've got it set up, it'll be so much quicker than trying to carve them by hand and to get them perfectly round. So that was the whole purpose for getting that lathe. And then, as I said, once I've got to that stage, I will then temporarily string up the instrument so that I can then start marking, making and fitting the nut and the bridge. And then that's really the final stage before putting all not the stain, the oil all over it and string it up. Okay, so it probably will be, I would say, 2 more videos on this project before we're finished, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, so in the meantime, you all please take care, be safe, and we'll see you soon. Peace out.